Hi everybody, this is Dave Neufeld for the Best Buy Canada blog, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a couple of wireless gaming headsets from Corsair. So the first headset that I'm going to take a look at here is the Corsair Virtuoso RGB wireless headset, and it is compatible with the PC and PlayStation 4. Now, as always with wireless headsets, be aware of that compatibility because sometimes in product listings and other places you'll see them say that this headset is actually compatible with all gaming devices, and to an extent that is always true because wireless headsets, they tend to work for game audio across all devices. It's the wireless chat that is often locked to one console or the other. So when this headset says it's compatible with PlayStation 4 and PC, that is true across all its functionality, both in-game audio and wireless chat. But the wireless chat won't work on, say, Xbox One or other consoles. Now, you can still connect the headset and get your in-game audio, you just aren't going to be able to chat. So for the purposes of this review, obviously, we will keep in mind that it's compatible with PC and PlayStation 4 for in-game audio and voice chat. So the Virtuoso here is it's the flagship model of Corsair gaming headsets. It's their highest end headset. It comes at the biggest asking price, but it also features the most kind of high-end sound and features in the headset itself, which is why it is kind of that in that higher end range. You can see here they've sent me the white model, and I think it's actually really nicely designed. It's got a nice kind of sleek design and look to it. I like the clean white color. For me, I really like all the clean shapes and lines of the headset, so I think it definitely is, from a visual standpoint, a very aesthetically pleasing headset. It also has an RGB lighting feature, LED lighting. You can see here if I turn it on. So once it's on, we'll get the nice LED lights both on the ear cups as well as on the microphone as well. It's actually flashing red right now, but I think that's just because it's not actually connected to a console. That's probably it saying, hey, I don't have a chat connection, but as soon as it was connected, that would probably turn and have the same kind of lighting pattern as the rest of the headset. So overall, it's a very nice design. It has 7.1 surround sound, and it's definitely very high quality. From the time that I was testing this headset, it definitely is up there with other high-end headsets for the kind of cinematic quality and high fidelity sound. So no problems there, for certain. If I had one or two things that I didn't quite like about this headset, really more personal choices, but for me, I'm never as much a fan of the round ear cups. I prefer the more rectangular shaped ear cups in headsets like this, and that's because to me that fits the ear better. If you have ever used both styles of headsets, you'll know our ears aren't round, they're more of a rectangular shape. So when I put these headphones on personally, I do find that maybe the top and bottom of my ear kind of touch the padding a little bit more than I wish they would. But again, that maybe says something about the size and shape of my ears personally, or maybe it just is a personal preference overall. But if I had designed them, though, one thing that I would do personally would be to make the ear cups less of a perfect circle and more of a rectangular shape. The other thing I'll mention about this headset in particular is the mic. It's actually quite a really nice mic. I like how sleek and slim and just really seemingly high quality it is. The only downside to that, though, is it doesn't actually retract or anything like a lot of mics do to get out of the way if you're not using it. If you're not going to use this mic when you're using this headset, you actually have to pop it off, which really isn't too bad in and of itself, but just worth noting that you can't quickly, get the headset the mic out of your way or mute it by putting it in an upright position, as with other headsets like this. It's always there unless you pop it off. The mute button is actually also kind of hiding under there as well. You'll see the mute button for the mic is on the mic. It took me a while to find that. For a while I was using this headset and I thought it didn't have a mute button because I couldn't find it in any of the places where it would normally be. So I was about to wonder why they would design a headset without a mute button, but it is there. It's just kind of hiding, so just be aware that that's where the mute button is. The last thing I will say is that the volume control on this headset also is a little bit perplexing. I found it's not very sensitive. So when I went to adjust the volume, I found that I would really have to crank it a lot before I started to see a change. Which with most headsets you'll notice, I mean, if you just kind of tweak it a little, usually that's volume up and down. But with this one, I felt like I really had to kind of crank the wheel a long way to make a change. And that can be a bit of a downside, especially if you're gaming on the fly, you're in the middle of a game and you just, something's too loud or just too quiet and you just want to make a really quick adjustment. You want that adjustment to happen fast, but with this headset, it does not happen very fast in my experience. I kind of had to, turn this wheel a few times before I really saw a noticeable change in volume. But outside of that, it's definitely a very nice headset. It's got really great aesthetic quality and the sound is very good. So it's a very nice headset overall and kind of fits well into that higher end category that it sits in. So the other headset that I'm going to take a look at now right as well is the Corsair Void RGB Elite Wireless. And again, this is compatible with the PC and PlayStation 4. So same story as the last headset as well. It will actually work with most devices that it can connect to, but the wireless chat feature specifically is locked to the PC and PlayStation 4, so you won't be able to have wireless audio chat on, say, Xbox One if you were to use this headset there. Now this headset kind of falls in the middle. It's more of a mid-range headset. It comes at a lower asking price than the Virtuoso, but it also, as you can tell, it isn't quite the same design. For me, I'm less of a fan of the design of this headset, particularly, and again, from person to person this may vary. This could easily be personal preference, but for the mid-range headset that this is, I find it to be really bulky. Like, it kind of feels a bit heavier, bulkier, thicker. I'm not a big fan of the design in particular, of how you see, like, the headband is really wide, and then it kind of goes narrow here, and it's on a turn, and then it goes around. And like, some people may actually kind of like that more busy, I guess I'd call it, design, but for me personally, I like cleaner, straighter lines, and I'm just not a big fan of, it feels a bit bulky to me. Even on the microphone, you can see here, it kind of goes, it's thick and it goes from narrow to thin, and for my personal taste, that's just not what I'm looking for. The adjustments are up top here. Again, it just feels a bit less traditional. Like, I'd rather the headset adjusted closer to the ear cup and that sort of thing. But on the plus side, they are, as I said, that more rectangular shape of ear cup, so it definitely has that going for it, style and aesthetic wise. Sound quality overall, it is also a 7.1 stereo surround sound headset, and the sound is very good. It's not quite as good as the Virtuoso. I will definitely say that you definitely get a noticeable boost when you go to the higher quality of the Virtuoso, but this, as a mid-range headset with 7.1 surround sound, still has very, very, very good sound. It's definitely well above, a stereo headset or something that's really more of a low end. And as you can see here, if I power it on, it also has the same RGB LED lighting features as the Virtuoso as well, so the same sort of aesthetics. So again, this headset is a nice mid to high tier quality headset with great sound. For me personally, I'm not quite as much a fan of the design, of the overall kind of structure of the headset, but could be a personal preference, and it definitely will save your wallet a few bucks if you're looking at it in comparison to the Virtuoso. And now you'll see, I'm also just going to quickly touch on this accessory here. This is also a Corsair device. It's the ST100 RGB premium headset stand, and it's just another accessory by Corsair that I really actually quite like. I mean, a headset stand is great, but this device actually does quite a lot more. One of the features it has is so it connects to your PC or console by USB, but it offers you 2 more USB ports, so it actually gives you more USB ports than it takes up, so that's kind of nice. And especially with these wireless headsets that have a battery that needs charging, you can connect your cable to one of these ports, and then you can not only have your headset on the stand but have it charging at the same time, so that's kind of nice. And as you can see, it also has the LED lighting as well, so it kind of fits the whole theme of the aesthetic of these RGB LED lighting headsets that can kind of pair with this with the ST100 stand for an overall kind of aesthetic appearance to your gaming setup or whatever. Another feature of the ST100 as well that isn't quite as relevant in relation to these two headsets, because they are 7.1 surround sound headsets. But if, say, you had a headset that wasn't 7.1 surround sound compatible, this stand as a pass-through actually is. So if you were to connect a non 7.1 surround sound headset via USB as a wired connection to the stand and then to your device, it would actually enable that headset to be 7.1 surround sound compatible. So it's kind of an interesting way as well to add surround sound capability to a headset and a gaming setup that otherwise doesn't have it. So there you go, that's all I have for you today. That's my look at the Corsair RGB Virtuoso gaming headset and the Corsair Elite the Void Elite wireless gaming headset. But that's all I have for you today, and keep tuned to the Best Buy blog for all the latest in gaming and technology. See you next time.